Armchair commanders, we call the shots. From our living room thrones where the action's hot. We're the generals of fiction, the masters of war. In silver screen battles with buttered popcorn. Armchair commanders, armchair commanders.
All right, welcome to the Armchair Commanders podcast. My name is John.
And I'm Jack.
And this week we are reviewing Indiana Jones and the Lost Kingdom of the Holy Grail Stone Alien.
Da, 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 da.
And a copyright strike just happened.
I fucking love this movie.
For those who didn't gather from the graphic or the art, it's Raiders of the Lost Ark today.
Mm-hmm. The first Indiana Jones.
And the last Indiana Jones.
Hey, you shut the hell up.
So you tell me why the great love for this archaeology propaganda.
You mean this archaeology? What's the opposite of propaganda? Conaganda?
You know, that's a great question.
Propaganda, that's what it's called.
Oh, Google just said the opposite of propaganda is fact.
There you go. It's one of those, a fact.
As far as I'm concerned, archaeology is just the redhead stepchild of paleontology, and we all know my thoughts on paleontology.
I got a fucking bone for you if you talk shit about paleontology. Anyway, but yeah, I like this movie series. It's a fun little adventure series. I mean, I still haven't seen Kingdom of the Crystal Skull because I'm not a sadist, but I have seen Dial of Destiny.
How's Dial of Destiny?
Not perfect. By
well, I mean,
stretch.
This film isn't perfect either.
Well, but you never like any of the movies I propose.
Look. Here's the thing. I do appreciate Indiana Jones. Like, is very much landmark cinema. Created some tropes, and it's very played out in pop culture. Tons of references. Like, I appreciate all those things. Just going back though, kind of just felt meh about it.
You're such a hipster. But no, I like this series because way back when I was a kid, I was working on the ranch in the summer. Usually our time to harvest hay and whatnot. And I was assigned to rake hay, aka the easiest job. So I got that done pretty quick, and Pa told me to head home because I was done for the day. And I did. And I made myself some popcorn and poured myself some Coca-Cola. And I turned on the TV in the basement, and Raiders of the Lost Ark was just starting. And it was a 3-movie marathon of those movies. So I just sat my ass down, watched all 3 original Indiana Jones in one day. Last Crusade was finishing up when it was dinner time.
I'm surprised you had the stomach for dinner after the amazing horror effects in this film.
Now, well, you see, who doesn't get hungry when they see melting and exploding Nazis?
That's fair. I chowed down pretty hard on the popcorn when I was watching Sisu, so...
Mm-hmm. Our grandparents knew you can't fight fascism on an empty stomach.
Why do all of these archaeological sites just have, like, dead people stuck on poles?
Well, you see, those guys are the less successful archaeologists. The chaff, if you will.
The barchaeologists? Because
Bark?
they're like the B team? The beta-ologists?
The beta archaeologists, one word. Yes. They weren't smart enough to avoid traps or stupid enough to double cross their person, like Alfred Molina. Which, by the way, forgot that Doc Ock was in this movie.
Doc Ock.
Mm-hmm.
He was?
Alfred Molina. He was the guy that tried to betray Indy in the beginning and then gets impaled.
The whip for the idol. All I could keep thinking of, like, honestly, watching this movie is I just kept thinking about all the different jokes that pop culture has made about this movie. Like,
oh, yeah, there are tons.
Yeah, because, like, during the opening scene, like, the very famous, like, Indy is being chased by a giant-ass boulder because he replaced the golden idol with a bag of sand.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it made me think of that Robot Chicken sketch that they did, where it's, like, the indigenous peoples constructing this fucking stupid elaborate
yeah, the
place.
contractor.
And they're like, is that our god just out in the open on a pedestal? It's like, don't worry, it's a weighted trap.
Wait. How much of these darts are going to set me back? It's fine. They come in like boxes of 10. Yeah, but how many do they consume? It doesn't matter, okay?
Spiders? What do you mean spiders? Like, can't I just, like wipe them off? Yeah, but it'll scare somebody.
And watch this. Ooh, I dip my hand in the light and boom, spear. Just kidding. It's her buddy here.
Then we get
that's a great sketch.
I don't know. It's just like this is obviously the first movie in the story arc. And, like, I don't know, just looking back, like, going back to it, like, there's so much, like, exposition that you kind of just roll your eyes at. Because, like, after the fucking stone chase scene, he gets onto the fucking airplane and there's a snake in there. He's like, oh, that's my pet snake. And he's like, I hate snakes. And it's like, cool. Fact. Like, here's the thing. I'm not a fan of snakes either. You bet your ass if I'm sitting in a fucking airplane and there's a snake, like, rolling around my feet, that fucking snake's getting yeeted out the goddamn airplane.
I don't be a hater. He's just trying to vibe and do snake things.
This episode brought to you by pita. I love pita bread.
And I love snakes, so you leave them alone.
Fucking weirdo.
Hey, they're better than spiders.
Wait,
honestly,
let me guess. You were rooting for Voldemort during Harry Potter 2 because he was like the snake guy?
Well, no, you fucking... What is the logic there?
You said you like snakes. Voldemort was the snake guy. Ergo, you like Voldemort.
God damn it, this is like one of those redressed... I really don't like tobacco. Oh, so you support Hitler then? You know what? You found me out, okay? I hate to admit it to our dear listeners, but I am a Voldemort supporter.
Hitler hated smoking. You just said you weren't for smoking, ergo, Hitler.
Yeah, no, you got me dead to rights. I support magical Hitler.
I'm glad you just said you support magical Hitler.
You know what? Voldemort. Yeah. You know what? I'm not afraid to say his name. I've embraced his vision for the future.
That's the Dark Lord to you.
He's going to make the wizarding world great again by kicking all those illegal fucking muggles out of our country.
Do you think Bellatrix Lestrange killed any dogs to get her job?
Absolutely, she did. hey, you just hate her because she likes to, or she makes the hard decisions, and also goth milf mommy.
I wonder if she also defrauded the state of South Dakota.
She defrauded Gringotts. She's not allowed on the Centaur reservations anymore.
Do you think Gringotts has a South Dakota branch?
I'd be surprised if they didn't. So I found this out.
That's what's behind Mount Rushmore, is the fucking entrance to Gringotts, South Dakota.
Actually, it's funny you mention this, because I found out only a couple years ago that South Dakota is basically the Switzerland of America.
Some shady shit goes on there.
Yeah, guess how much money we have banked in assets, not through the public, mind you, but just private equities and owners.
I don't know, 7 billion?
Higher.
48 billion.
Higher.
1 trillion.
Higher.
What?
Higher?
What's the number?
4 trillion.
$4 trillion is
yeah, it's something ludicrous. And this was in a college class. I learned this.
Why isn't South Dakota just paying off the fucking national debt?
Oh, because that's not our money to spend. We just hold it for people.
You know, a couple clickety clacks on the keyboard can change that.
I'd like to see you try. How dare you take our billionaires' money?
Oh, yeah, because they need every fucking cent of it.
Yeah, we have a ridiculous amount just stowed away that we can solve problems with, but no, that's for shady liberals.
How much money do you think this little expedition costs to find the Ark of the Covenant?
$10. Or maybe more.
Well, I mean, they had at least like a battalion of dudes, plus a submarine, an entire island.
You're talking about the Nazis. I was like,
yeah.
I thought you were talking about Indiana Jones. I'm like, probably the plane ticket and not much else.
You know, Indiana Jones gets a lot of shit done without actually have to pay for anything.
He's a streetwise hell of a guy.
Street rat, riff raff. I don't buy that.
You know, I love how a lot of tabletop games have a stat specifically for street smarts and like resources you can buy at character creation that's like, hey, I know a guy.
I know a guy who knows a guy.
Yeah. I kind of want to make a character in one system called Noah Guy, and just all of my points and skills and money are toward contacts and charisma.
So here's my question. Maybe I wasn't paying fucking attention. I mean, besides the obvious, in real life, obviously the Nazis real big into their archaeological stuff. Because they were also big into the occult. And I really love that that's a part of like pop culture media, is like their archaeological shenanigans.
Mm-hmm.
But did this movie explicitly say why the Nazis wanted the Ark of the Covenant, or was I not paying attention?
I'm sure they did, but also, come on, it's the Ark of the fucking Covenant.
Well, yeah, but like, besides the bragging rights of saying I have it, like, it's a lot of effort for that shit.
It's a powerful magical relic that they could use to behoove their civilization.
I once read a whole ass book about the Nazis' effort to obtain the Spear of Destiny.
Longinus's spear.
Mm-hmm. It was quite the interesting read. But that asserts that like it's something that has existed this entire time. Like, it was a fucking spear. Like, it probably got thrown away at some point.
I mean, yeah. But there's a whole controversy about biblical relics and whatnot. especially this shit about the Shroud of Turin. And oh yeah, this is where I was going with this. I remember reading a post a while back that was like, imagine this movie through the eyes of one of the Egyptian villagers that just lives in this village while shit's going down. You're just like minding your own business, maybe as a builder, maybe as a some sort of skilled labor, hell, possibly as like a shepherd or something. And then all of a sudden, these big burly white dudes with blonde hair and blue eyes and funny looking machines and automatic weapons just roll up on you in your village and start just say, "Hey, we're digging here." It's not a question or a request. They just start doing it. But their money's green and they buy local, so what can you do?
Yeah.
Might as well enjoy it. But
I mean,
don't go near. Just don't cause trouble with them, and they probably won't kill you.
could
And
you
then
imagine?
all of a sudden, some dude and his lady friend show up, and then they just start tear-assing around everywhere, breaking people's shits, like shoving people aside in the streets. And then eventually that guy who's not quite right in the head, that stands in the village center all day swinging a sword around all day every day, one of the white dudes sees him and then shoots him in cold blood. Everybody's freaked out and pissed off, but no one can do anything because he has a gun.
And then you have like a serious OSHA violation occur at the airport.
Yeah. One of them is just fucking SpaghettiOs now.
Could you imagine just being like, I'm a random German mechanic who got, like, that's such shit. Like, oh, I'm a random German aircraft mechanic who got assigned to fucking Egypt, and now I'm fucking toothpaste.
Bruno McStarkenpansen.
Also, why did Steven Spielberg have to create such an absurdly weird looking airplane for that scene? Like, was there not just an available post war airplane for him to use?
That was based on an experimental design from actual Nazi blueprints. Purely experimental, though. I'm gonna have to look
They didn't
this up.
bother coming up with the extremely experimental U-boat.
It wasn't experimental at the time, though.
Okay.
Raiders of the...
Something I would like to play a thought experiment is like, so this is set during the 30s, and like obviously the 20s and the 30s are kind of like the golden era of archaeology, or at least like Egyptian archaeology, because like, there's how many up to million movies about like Egyptian archaeology and finding mummies and stuff like that, but like that was the big thing during this time frame. Like, this is when like King Tut gets found, and it really was like, you wouldn't think of like archaeologists being like mercenaries out for a paycheck, but it's kind of what it was at the time. It was, I get money for finding shit, and like I get more recognition and contracts for the more shit I find and being the first. But could you imagine? Let's just say this is like a true story. Like, obviously it's just an action film, but let's play the mind
story.
Let's just play the mind thought game here that this is a real story. Could you imagine being the guy who's like, I found King Tut, and you're like, I'm on top of the fucking world, or like being the guy that's like, I discovered the Tyrannosaurus Rex, and then dipshit McHippie over here with his bullwhip found the Ark of the goddamn Covenant. Thank you. I appreciate that.
All of the found the goddamn Ark of the Covenant.
But really, like you could, like I said, you could have found the goddamn, like, I discovered the T-Rex, and then fucking Indiana Jones here, who hasn't shaved in 5 days, like not only gets like the girl, but finds like the find ever.
I like
And
how
then
you put
he's
that,
like,
the find
"Oh,
ever.
it's in a safe place. Don't you worry."
We're studying man. So, how much Family Guy have you seen?
Entirely too much.
Well, then you know how James Woods, for the Disney fans out there, the voice of Hades from Hercules, is a recurring villain in Family Guy, where he comes with various plots to terrorize the Griffin household or fucking Quahog in general. And every time they catch him or thwart him, every fucking time, Peter just says he's been sent to be studied by top men. Who? Narrows his eyes. Top
Oh,
men. And then it just plays a parody of that scene where they're putting the Ark in a crate and then hawking it in a warehouse every time.
what did I ever do to you? I don't know. Put me in a crate without air holes.
And also, I just looked it up. Like, yes, the flying wing in the movie is fictional. However, it is based on a prototype fighter bomber that the Nazis were developing in the late stage of the Second World War.
Regardless of its historical accuracy, I'm not mad about that. I'm just saying, you're telling me it was easier for you to build that fucking thing than to just grab some airplane out of the boneyard?
I mean, right? Yeah, they had cargo airplanes, but we really wanted that scene of that dude getting turned into chunky salsa.
Turned into a meat crayon.
Yep.
Speaking of meat crayons, I kind of have beef with the fucking car chase scene.
Oh yeah.
Well, he gets dragged by this fucking truck. Like, so Indiana Jones is in your stereotypical action film car chase scene. And, like, he gets into a fight with this dude who's driving a truck. And, like, he gets booted out of the car, but then, like, is able to hang on miraculously and, like climbs down and gets drug underneath the fucking truck and then, like, sneaks his way back up and wins the day. And I'm just like, if he actually just hung on to the bottom of this truck and got dragged for the better part of a quarter mile or a half mile going like 60 miles an hour, he wouldn't have any fucking clothes on and he would just be one giant road rash.
Yeah, missing quite a bit of skin.
And it just, I don't know why, but that scene just irked the shit out of me.
Well, it won't be the last time he does it in the series.
The
And
other thing,
go ahead.
It's pedantic, but so we get to the scene where Indy finds the true location of the Ark of the Covenant. He's got his own little dig team. And they find the little patch square thing, and when they pop it, it like there's like a whoosh of air, like this fucking place is hermetically sealed, basically. Which I guess could make sense if it's a tomb that was buried long ago. Like, yeah, that kind of makes sense. And they open it, and there's a pit full of live, fully grown ass snakes. And my immediate thought was, okay, if they open this tomb and there's this like rush of air to give it that like that sense that it has been eons since this fucking thing has been open and it's like untouched by humans and, like I said, this hermetically sealed kind of chamber, I immediately got mad at the live snakes. But then we fast forward and like Indy, like, they throw him into this pit of doom and they're like, goodbye, Dr. Jones, and like close him in there. And after like 2 minutes of searching, he finds like a way out because there's like a beam of light coming through one of these chamber rooms. And then that made me even more mad because I was like, I get it. He's afraid of snakes, so we're going to play the snake angle. I was mad about the whole floor full of snakes, even though this is like a sealed off chamber. But then I got more mad at the fact that they portrayed like opening this tomb like it was some sort of grand fucking like unveiling, like whoosh of air thing, when there's literally just like a crack in the wall like 100 feet away that they could have used, and like that's very obviously where the snakes came in from. So like there's no reason for this fucking vacuum pressure bullshit to have happened.
Magic. It's arc magic.
I know I'm being pedantic.
I know.
But I was like, choose one or the other, please.
You want to know what I got hung up on? And I'm not going to be the first person to point this out. And you may have heard this diatribe before. There is even a portion of a Big Bang episode about this, and a cracked article. Indiana Jones could have done nothing at all. Because if you'll remember, the Nazis were digging in the wrong place until he came about, and they probably wouldn't have found it. But they did.
They weren't that far off, and I would imagine they would. Would have expanded the search area.
I'm not done yet.
Okay.
And then they decide to, or just if they did decide to expand and then somehow found it, they wouldn't have. Well, they wouldn't have gone to that island in the Aegean and tested it out and gotten themselves killed. They probably would have taken it back to Berlin for a grand unveiling ceremony in front of Hitler and his cabinet. Do you see where I'm going with this?
But they made a point of that when they were on the secret island. They're like, are you sure you want to do this unveiling there only for it to be a nothing?
Well, right, but they probably wouldn't have even have tested it then and there if they didn't have it.
Yeah, well.
And besides, Nazis really love their ceremonies.
Why did the Frenchmen just have that ceremony guard on hand?
Come prepared.
I guess. I have one more thing to be pedantic about. And it goes back to the chamber where the Ark was kept. So after being locked in there, they find this little crack that they can escape through. And he pushes this fucking giant rock boulder thing out of the way. And I know it's Hollywood, and I know that in reality that's probably just some foam painted to look like a rock. But I did some math because that's who I am as a person. Like, whenever we have like a money problem in a movie, I'm always curious to see what it equals out to be. On the low side, that rock that he pushed would have been 1 metric ton. And on the high side, it would have been 4 tons. And that was just based on me eyeballing the size of it and then multiplying it by the average weight of a cubic foot of limestone. So.
Don't skip leg day, kids.
Yeah. Again, I know it's pedantic, not the point of the story, but really? You think Indiana Jones is going to one man just kind of put his shoulder into it and move a fucking 2-ton boulder?
Anything's powerful through positive self-reinforcement.
Yeah, probably. But
I wouldn't know.
I wouldn't know. I'm Mr. Cranky Pants over here who busts out his fucking calculator on his phone in the middle of a movie. What's your biggest beef with this movie, Mr. I Love It?
I mean, I already said it. Like, Indy not needing to be involved in this movie. Like, he arguably made the situation worse.
Indiana Jones, and that time he just stayed the fuck home.
Yeah, like
he just like panned to him being in a classroom yelling at a student because they fucking fell asleep or something.
Yeah. Indiana Jones and the firing for being absent.
Yeah, it belongs in a museum. Dr. Jones, who are you talking to? Don't make me whip you. What?
I'm just sad because my son's gonna grow up to be fucking Shia LaBeouf.
There are worse fates.
Yeah, like Shia LaBeouf being your dad.
Did you see the SNL skit not too long ago where they had Jack Black on and he was like on a dating show? Like the stereotypical like girl is on one side and there's like a paneled wall and then you have like three suitors on the other side and they just
Yeah,
like
the
go,
dating game.
yeah, whatever. I'm sorry. Okay.
Fuck you. But anyway,
Fuck
continue.
you. Anyways, they had Jack Black on as one of the characters, and he was just like this dude who's obsessed with Indiana Jones, but it's a hilarious sketch. But they're like, I don't think we can move on. You're dressed like Indiana Jones. He's like, I don't even know what that is. Is that like a brand like Tommy Hilfiger or something?
Tell me he'll.
You have a whip. Your producer gave it to me. I thought I was supposed to have it.
Man. And then there's the whole issue of the ages of the characters bringing up some uncomfortable questions. Like, I believe Marion would have been like 13 and Indy in his early to mid 20s when they were together.
Wait, what?
Yeah, like they did the math.
Wait, what? Like, Marion is very obviously an adult in this movie, isn't she? Or am I?
Right, but as long ago as their relationships were versus their canon ages.
Please expound upon this more because it's not making sense to me.
They fucked when she was a kid. There's really like, what do you?
No, but what is your basis for saying she's 13 in this movie?
Like one of her outbursts is like, "Oh, so and so years ago, and I was just a child," and blah blah blah.
Well, you can
When they were
technically
arguing in
claim to be a
Nepal,
child up until you're 18.
I believe she says, "For fuck's sake, like it was this many years ago." Based on their ages in the current year, which is 30 something. Sure. God damn it.
Okay, so according to Wikipedia, she was, according to the novelization, however, it says not quite reliable due to differences and inconsistencies. So between the ages of 15 to 17, and Jones was 27 to 28. Okay, that's not good. See, that's what I needed from you when I was asking this question. Because like when you watch this movie, she's very obviously a fucking adult.
Yes, but like I said, it took place years ago.
So Indiana Jones needs to be canceled. Got it. Learned that. Time to review this. 1 to 5 Epstein Island charges.
5 out of 5 Epsteins.
I don't know if that's good.
Hooray! Whoa!
The movie even has its own island.
Yeah, that's where they go. That's where that scene was filmed, Epstein's Island.
How did he know not to? So, getting back to the actual movie, when they go to perform the scene, how did he know not to look at the fucking ark when they opened it?
I guess it's just one of those safe assumptions to not look at something that powerful and that holy. I feel like
But
that'll
also,
get you
he
out of a
yelled
lot of
at.
situations.
He also yelled out like, "Don't look at it" after they had already opened it. So, like, I'm curious. Granted, we're dealing with like a supernatural, and it's just a fucking movie. But like, what's the time limit cutoff for for this thing to be opened and for you to shut your eyes?
Well, it's got to spool up first. I mean, you saw them. They spent a lot of time staring at it, and then they screamed for a bit, and then they started blowing up and melting.
What if you were like a German guard, like on the outer perimeter, and your job was to make sure like nobody like came in? Like, are you exempted because your back was turned?
Maybe. Maybe it just senses Nazis.
The Ark of the Covenant only kills Nazis.
It leaves the innocents as so long as they look away.
You know, if there's one thing, the Nazis were very good at playing Nazis.
Yep.
God,
Comically evil.
Toft was just so fucking creepy. Could you imagine being an actor who is just naturally looks that creepy?
I mean, you'd be set on villain roles your whole life.
Yeah, but like, ugh.
Ugh.
His face looked like an uncircumcised penis.
Yeah, it does.
Or like a turtle.
Also, there's another funny little bit in this movie that I can't unnotice once it was pointed out to me. But in one of the scenes, him and his Nazi cohort pull up in a car, and in one shot they're all present and accounted for, but in the next shot one of them isn't there. It's just like a pile of clothing with his hat on top of it to make it look like him vaguely. And there's a lot going on in that shot. Like a kid comes up to the car to sell dates. One of them stands up and like looks through his binoculars. You almost don't notice that in the passenger seat there's what's supposed to be a Nazi but very clearly isn't. And that was because that actor was gone or busy or sick that day of filming, so they decided to roll with it and film anyway, hoping we wouldn't notice, but we did.
Oh, we did. We noticed a lot of things. Have you ever seen? God, I forget the movie, but there's this movie that's supposed to be like kind of a play on horror films, and this guy is like in this small town, and he notices it. Like he stumbles upon this like ritual in the woods where like the entire townspeople are like running in a circle around this fucking like mystical energy, and it's like reaching up into the sky. And he does a stereotypical like steps on a twig, looks down and looks up and sees that like the entire thing has stopped and all of the townspeople are like standing in front of him. And he has the reaction that people should have. And he's like, "Oh no, I'm out on this."
Hi. Am I late?
He's like, because that's the thing. And I was having this conversation the other day. I was like, you know, I've never experienced anything truly paranormal. But like we watch all these movies and you're like, how dumb are these people? Why haven't they left? And it's like, if a ghost haunted my house, I'm not sure I would, boogie on out of there immediately either, because I would probably try and rationalize a lot of things. In this movie, though, there's a lot of things where I'm like, did we not see the fucking warning signs? We needed to peace out? Like Indiana Jones in this fucking town talking to his buddy just in like this dude's private residence, and they're talking about the ark, and all of a sudden there's this just like gust of wind that goes through the entire fucking house. And he just like kind of smirks and he's like, all right, we're going to do this. And I'm like, no. Like if I'm having a conversation with you and me are having a conversation, and right this moment, like I hear some embodied, like ghostly embodied, like get out that is unexplainable, I'm shutting the podcast down. We're done.
Man, you mean you've never had a supernatural experience before?
You know, here's the thing. I find myself in a kind of a weird position, which is I do believe in ghosts and spirits, but every time I hear about a paranormal encounter of some sort, like that, it's a weird subsection of my Audible subscription. Is like I have a ton of supernatural books on there, like the haunting of this place or the haunting of that place, like Civil War ghost stories, all this kind of stuff. And every time I read these stories, I have the interest and I have the self-proclaimed belief that ghosts and spirits are real. But every time I hear a story, I'm like, this is horseshit. And I don't know, maybe there's been times in my life that I could have prescribed that, but I've always just written it off. So it's weird. I'm like, I'm a believer, yet I don't believe in any of the stories I hear.
Okay.
And I don't know if that makes sense to you at all, but
No, I get it. Just, I want to believe.
it's not even that I want to believe. I don't know. My personal belief system is that there's an afterlife, and if there's an afterlife, I believe that there's multiple routes that afterlife could take. So I don't see why ghosts could not exist.
Okay.
That being said, I've yet to come across a piece of information where I'm like, oh yeah, that's definitely a fucking ghost.
Yeah, I think almost everybody in the Mortensen family that's worked on the ranch has had a strange experience.
That's because you got them skinwalkers.
Yeah, there's weird things out at night on the prairie.
I mean, if there's one thing, you definitely don't have Ark of the Covenant weird spirits melting your fucking face off.
Nope. I don't think Christ nor any of his more volatile toys reached this far west.
Well, I mean, if you ask the Mormons, they would disagree with that statement.
Oh, true. I forgot about the Mormons.
And according to South Park, they're the only ones that go to heaven, so.
Not true. Remember in the newest episode where all those Mexicans were in heaven until they got detained by ICE?
How did you get here? I don't know. I was a good person.
God, yeah, I saw that after work today and it was great.
Was my assessment of that episode not correct, though?
What was it?
I sent you a text that was like, the fucking episode's a masterpiece.
It was pretty good. The ending was really sudden, in my opinion.
The ending or the end credits?
Ending.
Okay.
Because just when it was starting to get tense, it's just over.
Well, they spent a lot of time showing Christy Noam fucking killing dogs, so.
Yeah.
Like Miranda
finally, my state gets representation.
Yeah. The best representation it will ever get.
Man.
I'm just trying to make my nut, okay?
Make my nut. I've never heard that.
I have only heard it once before, and it was in the movie The Founder, which stars Michael Keaton.
As Ray Kroc.
As the dude who did McDonald's. And he used that in a sentence once, and I was like, that's kind of gross. So apparently it is a saying.
Clyde, quit taking my fucking thing.
You guys stole my stick. Which is kind of funny because Cartman's been doing it for like 25 years.
Mm-hmm. And them calling Clyde fat kind of calls back to that really early episode where Cartman lost a bunch of weight and he wasn't the fat kid anymore. And Clyde apparently is the next fattest kid in the grade, so he became the fat one.
Shut up, fat ass. You know what that reminds me? I'm shocked at the lack of walkie-talkies in this movie.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up earlier. This is a big... Like, they even reference the movie itself in the South Park parody. Tweak has the rocket launcher and he's going to destroy the remake, but, you know, Steven Spielberg punks him out. Come on. A part of you has always wanted to see this.
What are you drinking tonight?
Rolling Rock.
Nice.
I was drinking a black cherry fresca, but I finished that, and oh my god, was it that satisfying.
I had a grape soda today for like the first time in a long time, and it was something.
Yeah. So yesterday,
I had a grape crush from a glass bottle.
Ooh, I can do you one better. Yesterday I had a grape knee-high soda, Nehi, Nehi, whatever, soda. They're
channeling your inner radar.
Yesterday, somebody left this jambalaya mix at work with the seasoning and the rice and whatnot. This little box, and I thought, well, that solves my dinner dilemma for tonight. So I took it. And I noticed that it didn't have any andouille sausage. And I'm like, okay, well, this just straight up won't do. So I went to the...
I just ain't going to hunt.
Yeah, I ain't going to hunt, say. But I went to the local family grocery store by my place. And lo and behold, the first sausage that I saw was andouille. So I bought a pound of andouille sausage, chopped it up as well as some carrots that I had lying around. And I added some more onion powder and garlic powder because they never add enough, let's be honest. And I
they make it weak.
And I added some chopped garlic I had. Cooked it. Turns out fucking amazing. And I'm having a bowl of reheated leftovers right now, actually, of jambalaya. Gotta hand it to Louisiana. They know how to cook.
I had tater tot hot dish for dinner.
I'm sorry.
Miranda was craving it, so...
I'm not really sure how much of a Midwesterner I am because I'm not a big fan of potato casserole or hot dish. And I call soda, not pop.
Yeah. It's just, it was like 90 degrees today, so I was like, I don't want to run the fucking oven.
Don't like it hot?
Her name is Rio, and she dances in the sand.
Baked your brain, I see.
Yes. Anyways, because it was hot, I was like, you know what? I need to switch over to like a summertime beer, so I went and got myself some Corona and lime.
Not bad. Good choice.
But I think it's about time we rated this thing.
Agreed.
And I have a perfect rating system.
Oh?
The like most serious bit of acting in this entire film comes from one of Indiana Jones' cohorts where he saves his life. Like, apparently Indiana Jones is a big fan of dates, and there's a scene where he tosses a date up in the air and he's going to catch it in his mouth, and this guy grabs it and he's like, the dates are bad, and then it like dramatically pans over to a fucking
dead
monkey dead on the ground.
That monkey's a little snitch, though. He had it coming.
Yeah, fuck that monkey.
Yeah, hoist by his own petard.
So 1 to 5 poisoned dates.
I thought you were going to just say poisoned monkeys or dead monkeys.
1 to 5 dead monkeys. You know what? Fine, let's do that. 1 to 5 dead monkeys.
I gave this
A book.
five
Okay.
dead monkeys out of 5. I love this movie, and it's a classic. Iconic.
I give it 4. Like I said at the beginning, I recognize it for what it is. It is a landmark piece of cinema. It's just, I don't know. I kept rolling my eyes through a lot of this. So
It's a fun movie.
it is. It's
It
just,
is.
I don't know. It's just not a 5 for me. But what does Rotten Tomatoes say?
I'm glad you asked. On the tomometer, this is 94%, and the popcorn meter is 96%.
Okay. I guess I'm just in the minority here.
Ooh, look, get a listen for this. The rating for War of the Worlds, the new one, jumped up. It quadrupled. Now it's a 4% on Rotten Tomatoes. Wait, no, that
Like the
it increased by 4%.
like the 2005 War of the Worlds.
No, like the newest one that just came out, starring somebody. It's apparently dog shit.
Starring Ice Cube.
I don't know why either. I think Ice Cube just needs to stop.
These motherfucking aliens.
Yeah, and a bunch of people are clowning on it, and one of my favorites is, what is this, some kind of War of the Worlds?
I loved him in 21 and 22 Jump Street, though.
I didn't like him in SVU.
No, that was Ice-T, not Ice Cube.
Well, look at me, I'm just racist then.
Yes,
Yeah,
you are.
Right, Ice Cube is the fucking daddy daycare one. No, that's not right either. He was the family vacation movies.
Are we there
No, that's
yet?
not right either. He was. God damn it! What are those movies called?
Are we there yet? Was the fucking film franchise he was in?
Oh, are we there? See.
Or you
No
could just address him as he actually was, which was like a founding member of NWA.
Yeah, but are we there yet? And then First Sunday.
Gotta say, today was a good day. It didn't even need an AK. Come on, it's classic.
Oh, and Friday. How could we forget Friday? Friday was actually really good, though, so I'm not going to hold that against him. The same kind of day Ice Cube once had.
He was also in one of the Triple X movies.
I thought he was in both of them.
No, Vin Diesel was in the first two.
Yeah, he's the main character, but I thought Ice Cube was like a side character or something.
No, like he just got his own. Like he was the third Triple X movie. Like they couldn't get Vin Diesel to reprise his role.
Well, at any rate, if it sparkles and sunshines with the court, I was going to propose the new War of the Worlds as the podcast movie just so we could roast it. But
we can take that up after our next movie review.
Put it on the list at least.
I will. We have a guest for next week. I will hold off on sharing the guest. But the movie that they have requested to watch with us is 1952's Thunderbirds.
Ooh.
And no, it does not have to do anything with the puppet cartoon or the Air Force demonstration team.
You mean Team America?
Yes.
Yeah, yes.
It stars John Barrymore Jr., who is the dad to Drew Barrymore. So that's a fun little tidbit there.
Wow.
Apparently it's a movie that I don't know if it's solely focused on, but it heavily features code talkers of World War II. So I was not aware that was another Code Talker type film outside of Wind Talkers, so that should be interesting.
Yeah.
The IMDb of it says an Oklahoma National Guard unit comprised mainly of Native Americans is called up for duty at the start of World War II.
All right.
So we'll see how many white guys pretend to be Native Americans next week.
I can't wait.
I knew you would love it.
That's always fun.
Been meaning to ask you, is National Treasure a war movie?
Yes.
Are we sure?
He fights the man.
I mean, there's a lot of Revolutionary War history in it. I could see Book of Secrets being a war movie because like it involves like the Lincoln assassination and all that.
You propose these movies as if I'm ever going to say no to Nicolas Cage being on the list.
You know, do you think Rugrats in France is a war movie?
Yes.
Oh my god.
You see, they're fighting against the adults in that movie. They're waging a war of sorts. I don't fucking know.
Okay. Well, do you have anything else?
Legalize recreational chimps. That's it. That's all I got.
Okay. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a review. The stars do matter. You can find us on other platforms such as YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all those good places. We no longer have OnlyFans because reasons.
I'm sorry, okay? How long are you going to be mad about that? I give a couple freebies to fans and you're acting like I just ruined our main source of income.
Our only source of income.
Oh, it's called drumming up business or gauging interest. Look it up. I went halfway to a business major. I know this stuff.
We got reported to the Better Business Bureau, okay?
Those fucking nerds.
Well, I mean, they're probably not even a thing anymore. I don't know. I haven't kept up on what agencies are still running.
Yeah, it's 2025. Not much is illegal.
Anyways, until next week, I've been John.
And I'm Jack.
And hopefully we'll see you all later.
Bye.